And thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Sitecore Water Cooler Podcast, the casual conversation podcast dedicated to covering all things related to Sitecore, including product updates, full site builds, suggestions and insights, getting the most out of your Sitecore investment, and more. I'm your host, Jon Price, Sitecore Practice Director and MVP at AmericanEagle.com. For today's topic, we'll be discussing Sitecore's yearly event called Hackathon. Before we dive in, to summarize, Sitecore Hackathon is a free online community organized by community members and supported by Sitecore. Once a year, developers and business users from around the world get together to compete for 24 hours straight to build a new feature or function for the Sitecore platform. The modules and components built are then reviewed by community members and Sitecore employees, where a winner is selected. To discuss the Sitecore Hackathon with me today are Naim Al and Josh Hover. Naim is an experienced senior Sitecore developer who is a past Sitecore Hackathon winner. Josh is a Sitecore PMO director at AmericanEagle.com and has competed in the hackathon in the past years. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thanks for having us, John.
Wonderful. So, Josh, I'm going to kick the first topic over to you. So, tell us a little bit more about what Sitecore Hackathon is and when does it take place?
Sure. Yeah, so I think you gave a pretty good overview as to what Hackathon is. It's really exciting 24-hour community event. And really, the overall goal is to help bring the community together, help develop new features for Sitecore, and really offer some new capabilities through modules through the event. Really, anyone can participate, and it can be a team of one all the way up to a team of three. And as you mentioned, it's a 24-hour event, where essentially an hour before the event starts, which is normally around 8 o'clock on a Friday. This year, I believe it's on March 4th. And essentially an hour before, they send out an overview of what the categories are going to be for the event. And then it gives the team an hour to brainstorm and think about what they want to help develop their module towards. And then after that, they send out an announcement that the hackathon's kicking off, and then let the fun and excitement begin. It's really fun throughout the 24-hour event, watching the teams with social media and seeing what everyone else is doing. So I think it's really a fun opportunity to bring the community together, globally, because it's not just U.S. based or anywhere else. It's really neat global event for everyone to participate in.
So regardless of where you're at, bring your sleeping bag.
Yeah, exactly. And you see that too. It was fun last year watching people cozy up with like their Sitecore MVP pillow and things like that. So, really fun event to watch. Last year there were 95 teams that competed globally, whether those be 3 people or a single individual. And then I think prior to that, in 2020, there was about 85. So year over year, it looks like there's been a pretty good growing increase in contributors.
I've yet to see a Sitecore MVP pillow. I'm still looking for that first MVP pillow. That'll be another episode, though. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to call out that it was back in 2020 that our AE team won. And last year we did have 3 teams that were competing, so very exciting.
Yeah, Naim, I believe, was part of one of those teams. We actually won 2 years in a row. I think 2019 and 2020. So yeah, we'll get back on the winner board in 2022. I have no doubt about that. The one thing that was interesting to mention, Josh, is the team size. So I think in the past, a lot of people think this is really reserved for back-end developers, but really anyone can compete. A front-end developer, a project manager, a business analyst, someone more on the business side that can help define requirements and help the team compete. I think this next year will be interesting as well because of all the new products Sitecore has. So, and honestly, a question for either of you: why would someone want to compete in Hackathon? What's the benefit besides the fun?
Naim, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. For me, I think learning new stuff. For example, in 2020, we had to learn Sitecore 9.3, and we had to work on the latest release component. We had to do the site using SXA data exchange framework, and we used also the Sitecore Cortex, which was newly released. We had fun too. But for us, it was a challenge, a fun challenge to have to learn as many as we can in very short time, 24 hours window.
Yeah, I mean, learning new technology is always fun for individuals like yourselves. It's also an opportunity, and one reason I believe Sitecore puts this event on, it's also a way for someone to contribute reusable code or a component that can be integrated into the Sitecore stack. So selfishly, I think Sitecore has a motive there as well. But Naim, since we're talking a little bit about what you learned, what did you guys build to win the competition a couple years ago?
In 2020, we had 3 categories to choose from. One, the Sitecore Meetup website, the second, Sitecore Hackathon website, and the last one was the Sitecore Marketplace. My team, we chose the last one, which was the Marketplace website. We thought that it has the potential to use as many as out-of-the-box components. And we really thought that will be very helpful to the community if we have really a solid marketplace website. That's what we did.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you guys helped build the actual Sitecore marketplace website in 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah. As someone that doesn't code but helps define projects, I guess I will never take your level of effort ever again if you guys can build a website in 24 hours. So that's also good to know. And it's also, you spoil all the clients and then business users that you typically work with what we see you guys with what you guys can accomplish in 24 hours. That's really good.
All we need to do is provide a couple cups of coffee and a couple pizzas, and we're in good shape to turn out a website in 24 hours.
Yeah, I believe one of the goals of the hackathon is to demonstrate what we can do in 24 hours from Sitecore out-of-the-box components, and that we really can build something usable and functional well with a minimal integration in 24 hours. And that's what we did. Everything was out of the box with very minimum custom code, let's say. And we were just a team of 3. Very little we can do in 24 hours. Obviously, we cannot work for 24 hours. So the actual work would say 10 to 15 hours for 3. Yeah, which was cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I think this year will be very interesting as well because historically it's been really centered around the core Sitecore product, XP, SXA, JSS, things like that. This year, Sitecore's got a little bit more in their arsenal. Sitecore CDP, Sitecore Order Cloud. So I would not be surprised to see some surprises this year. But any predictions going into this year's hackathon, guys? Anything you can think of with maybe this changing landscape?
I think the headless can be a potential category with everything is going on in the technologies these days. That would be my guess. We will see.
I think we saw headless as a category for last year as well. It was either headless, it was JSS, but I think that and Order Cloud will probably be 2 of the bigger categories for the year.
Yeah, Experience Edge, Vercel, CDP, maybe how we integrate those. You never know. But no one should work ahead of time and cheat, so I just want to make that clear as well. So you have to keep it for that 24 hours. Perfect. So we have a few months leading up to it. I think the other thing I wanted to mention real quick as well is anyone that's going for Sitecore MVP. This is another nice community way to add to your resume. Again, that's not the only reason you should compete in Sitecore Hackathon, but for anyone that is going for MVP, this is just another nice way, and you'll see a lot of MVPs compete in Hackathon as well.
Sure.
Great. Well, guys, I appreciate your time today. Any closing thoughts for Sitecore Hackathon? Anything else that you'd like to mention today?
I would encourage every one of the community to participate in this. It's really push you as a developer to your maximum. No matter what level are you, architecture or a junior, you will always learn something new. Beside that, it's a good way to pay back for the community because all the submission is open source. Anyone can use it and anyone can see how specific features or component is working in a real time in a real life working project. So anyone can just pull the application, see how it works and learn from it. In addition to that, one of the criteria that the panel of hackathon judge count on is the code structure, the best practice of coding. So this is a good way also to learn and to practice this.
That's great. The sharing piece that you brought up is really interesting as well. That's kind of the whole premise around the Sitecore community, and what really kind of separates Sitecore is not only are you going to build something, but it's something someone can look at, someone could get ideas off, and someone can reuse, and then also Sitecore can incorporate it into their product like they have in the past.
Yeah, and I think to echo what Naim said, it's a really great opportunity to help contribute to the community, work with Sitecore's latest and greatest newest technologies where, you know, a team member might not have an opportunity to work with those in a current project. They'll have that opportunity during the event to work on something new. And then really, I think it's an awesome opportunity to meet other contributors amongst the community and in the Sitecore space.
So Naim, as a past winner of Sitecore Hackathon, you know, what does that mean for you and the team that does win, and what do you guys get out of it?
I think, John, it's mainly about the community recognition. It's flag you as one of the let's say the leaders, the developers in the community. It's not about the money. We have $200 Amazon gift card, which is nice, but we obviously we are not doing this for this gift card. But it's a good recognition and a good experience.
Sure,
it's good, something to feel.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. I think it also lends credence to not only your ability to code something in 24 hours, but your knowledge of the Sitecore platform as well. So yeah, that's great to hear. And you both are Sitecore Hackathon veterans here. So, you know, beyond the willpower and preparation to be able to code for a majority of that 24 hours, any advice that you give someone that would be new to Sitecore Hackathon in 2022?
I would say just try to enjoy your time. Don't stress about it. Just join to learn and have fun. And if you work with American Eagles, you will have free pizza too, which is a good plus.
Free pizza is always good. But yeah, I think try to get in as much as you can early on and then get a little bit of rest and then look at it with a fresh set of eyes and take another look. But like Naim said, just have fun with it.
Yeah,
free pizza always helps.
As a observer and business participant in Hackathon, the one piece of advice I would give is don't bite off more than you can chew. That 24 hours goes by really quick. So try to pick something that you can actually complete, because I've seen participants start and not being able to finish by the time the submissions close. So that'd probably be my last piece of advice.
Good advice, John.
Well, guys, I appreciate the conversation today. I wish you both the best of luck in Sitecore's 2022 Hackathon. Thank you for swinging by the Sitecore water cooler today. We hope to have you both on again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, John. Thanks, Naim.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Naim Al and Josh Hover for joining us today on the Sitecore Water Cooler Podcast, a casual conversation between colleagues and peers centered around all things Sitecore. I'm your host, Jon Price, and until next time we meet at the water cooler, be sure to subscribe to the Sitecore Water Cooler Podcast today, wherever you find your podcasts. This episode is brought to you by AmericanEagle.com Studios, with special thanks to executive producers Renee Nelson and Julia Klepich.